Hey guys, it's jMatt14 here, and here's a jVlog that probably most of you have been waiting for. I know Caesar's been waiting for it. It's time for the rant video. Today it is March the 6th, 2016. Unfortunately, yesterday, March the 5th, was my last day working where I did work. I was actually laid off, so I didn't get a chance to quit and leave. They actually laid me off, fired, or whatever you want to call it. So here we are for the rant video now, guys. So I'm going to go into who this company is, why you shouldn't shop with them, why you shouldn't work for them. We're going to go to a long jVlog here. I don't know if I'll split up in parts or leave it all together. I've got a glass of water here just in case my mouth gets dry, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. Alright, so first of all, let's just start from the beginning. Most of you know that, especially if you've seen content on this channel, I love Apple. I love Apple computers. I love iPod, iPad, all that kind of stuff. I'm a big Apple fan. You probably also know that Apple has their own retail stores, which I hopefully will work for one day. That's actually a goal of mine, actually, to work for Apple, because I love the company so much. But what you may know, but you may not know, is there's also third-party Apple stores. Okay, these are stores that are not owned by Apple; they're owned by other individuals, but they have a contract and a license with Apple to sell sell Apple's products in their store, and most of the time they also have a license to do service through Apple as well. There are several across the country, and to start the story off with, I worked for one here in the Southeast. It was called Peachmack. Okay, and Peachmack was an awesome company. They started here in Georgia and expanded out, and at one point they had most of the stores in Georgia, but they had two in Florida, they had one in Alabama, they had one all the way up in Virginia. They were the biggest third-party Apple seller in the Southeast. We did things very well. We followed Apple's rules. We followed their ways of doing things. Apple loved us. We had a very good relationship with Apple. Even though we only had about 11 or 12 stores, we had a very tight-knit relationship with Apple. They would let us do all kind of different things. For the service department, for sales, if some new product was coming out, like a new iPad or something like that, we'd have it, right there opening day. You wouldn't have to go find it online or go to a Best Buy or something. We would have it. So that's where this kind of story starts. I had a job there. The awesome manager that hired me saved me from Target, which I was there for 6 years, suffering and pain. And I finally got a job where, I could sell and talk about Apple products, things that I loved. But then, shortly into just being a regular kind of sales specialist, she saw this kind of passion and this talent in me for teaching, which people have said that I have a good skill in. I never believed them though. But yeah, one of the guys left that used to do the workshops and stuff like that, so I kind of started from there. Also started doing more of the one-on-one individual training, and I fell in love with it. And I wondered if it was actually a position I could move up to, and they told me, yeah, there's actually a trainer position. But this store has never had a trainer before. So right then and there, I made it my goal. For the first time ever on any job that I've ever worked, I was going to go above what my starting out position was going to be. I worked my butt off for 4 months to have perfect numbers, and within less than a year became the trainer of the store, the very first trainer of the store, mind you. And I loved it. I did it for 3 years. We sold an immense amount of training because of my skill. I don't really want to sound I don't want to sound like overblown, like, oh, I was the best ever, but I was a good trainer, guys, and I loved it. And people told me, when you have teachers that come in to learn about their products and they tell you that you're a good teacher, that's a sign that you're doing something good. When somebody in that profession tells you you're a good teacher, then that's when you know that that makes you feel good. That makes you, That, and also when somebody is so frustrated with their product, and you just take the time to kind of guide them along a little bit, and by the end of it, they're absolutely loving it, that makes you feel good too. And I did that every single day when I worked there as a trainer, and I loved it. I loved the people that I worked with. I loved the people that I trained. I loved my job. I got paid good for it. Anytime there was anything new that came out, I'd research it, I'd study it, ins and outs, the settings and stuff like that, new things that other people were like, how the heck did you know that? It's like, well, I went through, lots of hours of training to learn the ins and outs of the operating systems, to learn about the ins and outs of different applications and programs and things like that. So I love doing that. I love learning about new things about the system and then sharing it with people. So perfect fit for me. And that went on for a while. And then in 2014, around like November 2014, we got an email from our corporate store saying that they had this big announcement that they were going to do. And they wanted everybody to be on this phone call. But if you couldn't make the phone call, it was all right, because the following Sunday, where we had our all-store meeting to talk about Black Friday, they would just announce it then. So I was like, the call is going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. I want to sleep. You're going to tell me what's going on at the meeting anyway, so I'll just skip it. So I wasn't on the phone call. Came in that day. One of the managers asked me if I was on the call. I was like, nah, they're going to tell me at the meeting anyway. So he's like, do you want to know what it was about? I'm like, if you want to tell me, I don't really care, but you can tell me right now. He's like, well, we got bought out. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah. I was like, by who? And he went, by a company called Simply Mac. All right. I'll say that name again. Simply Mac. I'm like, who the hell is Simply Mac? And he went, well, they're a company that was like us that started out west in Utah and stuff, and they've kind of grown and things like that. And they're kind of buying up these other third-party Apple stores around us. They already bought one other company that was in Tennessee last year, and we were next on the list, and then they bought another company. They were trying to grow because their whole claim was, the more stores that they had, the more Apple would pay attention to them. But Apple doesn't care about that stuff. We were like 11, 12 stores, and they gave us all kind of stuff. They loved us. It's not the size of your company, it's the quality of your company. But they still haven't realized that yet. So yeah. And I was like, well, how the heck do they have all the money to buy all these, different companies? And he goes, well, it's because they're owned by GameStop. Yes. They are owned by GameStop. I, for about over a year, was a GameStop employee in some way. So Caesar, if you're listening to this rant video, you know what I'm talking about, buddy. Anybody else has worked for GameStop, you know what I'm talking about. You guys should know by now my feelings about GameStop and how I hate and despise GameStop. And I just looked at my manager in the eye and I was like, oh, hell no, I don't want to work for these people. Because I know exactly what they're going to do to this company. All right. But they told our store manager at the time and all the other store managers and everybody else, they assured them, oh no, we're not going to change anything. Okay. We're not going to change the way that your pay is done. We want to adopt all of your policies because you guys are really good at selling Apple Care and selling training and doing all this stuff. You have these great numbers. Your survey results for customer service are outstanding. We want to adopt what you're doing to make our whole entire company better. So we thought, hey, all the Simply Mac stores are kind of basically going to turn into Peach Mac stores. Everything's going to be all right. Lie number 1 of 1,000, guys. Okay? Lie number 1 of 1,000. All right? Couple that with the fact that then we had to start selling the iPhone. Okay? Which I have no problem with the iPhone. I love the iPhone, okay? If you don't like the iPhone, that's perfectly fine. If you like Android and Samsung and, things like that, that's perfectly fine. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. I'm an Apple fan. I personally love the iPhone, okay? But as Peach Mac, we didn't want to sell the phone anyway because that means you have to be attached to a carrier, okay? And so Simply Mac is attached to a carrier. They're attached to AT&T, which means that you have to learn the AT&T system. So every single person that worked for Peach Mac had to go for training to learn about the AT&T system. But guess what, guys? We didn't learn about the system, all right? At least when I was there, the guy that was supposed to, quote-unquote, teach us how to use the AT&T system basically was just one for like an hour and a half, just kind of excuse the language I'm going to use in this video because it is a rant video. It's the Sabbath, it's Sunday. I don't usually try to cuss during the Sabbath out of respect for everybody else, but he was basically sucking Simply Mac's dick, alright? He was doing that. He was giving them a big old BJ, okay? He was kissing their ass so much, saying that how awesome they were and stuff for like an hour and a half. And then, for what was most of the rest of the day that we were supposed to be there, because it was only one day when we were supposed to be there, he was trying to basically upsell us on AT&T and say how great they are and how they have good coverage and all this stuff and how they're better than Verizon and Sprint, stuff like that, okay? Here's one thing, guys. I don't claim which one of these carriers are better than anybody, okay? Because it all depends on where you are in the country. Where I'm at, Verizon's better because it gets better coverage in the rural areas and things like that. You may move to the city, like up in Atlanta. Maybe AT&T is better up there. So okay, so AT&T is a better choice here. You may go over, to California or something. Maybe Sprint's better there. Maybe in certain places T-Mobile's better. It just all depends on where you're at. When the carriers fight with each other and say that they have the fastest of this and that, I don't give a crap. Where I'm living right now, I just want to be able to make a phone call if my car breaks down or I need help or something. That's the only thing I really care about right now. Okay? So, being that said, let's go back to it. Okay? Here's the first thing about Simply Mac that pissed me off. Okay? We're there in the training, okay? And we introduce ourselves and stuff, and then the guy's talking about, well, it's great that you guys are now part of the Simply Mac family because now you have more opportunity to grow, more places to go. I mean, you have chances to be like store managers and district managers and regional managers and things like that because we're a bigger company. Because he said, who here likes their current job? And I'm the only one that raises my hand, okay? I'm the only one because I'm the trainer, and I love being the trainer. And then the guy looks at me and points and goes, well, we got one guy with no ambition. And my store that was sitting with me on the same row all looked at me. And I sat there with my mouth hanging open because I couldn't believe the gall of this guy to say that I had no ambition. Well, I had the ambition to become a trainer, which I wanted to be. I'm sorry if I don't have the ambition to be a manager. I don't think I'm really suited for that kind of work to be a manager. But to say that I don't have any ambition because I like what I do, excuse me for liking what I do, okay? All right? Sometimes, what if I liked what I did as a sales floor? Hey, I like selling stuff and things like that. He just blatantly insulted me. So that was one of many strikes against Simply Mac. One of your employees just insulted me, okay? Now, he's better be glad that it shocked me so much that I didn't jump over the table and beat the hell out of him, okay? All right? Because where I live right now, where I'm at, I live kind of in the hood, guys, okay? I'm a white guy. I know you don't know what color I am, but I'm a white guy, and I live in a very rural area, and I grew up that way. I went to a predominantly black high school and things like that. I grew up around people who will mess you up, okay? I survived that. I know how to mess you up, okay? So don't think for a minute, since I'm this white guy that, also wear glasses and I'm a nerd guy and stuff like that, I won't beat the hell out of you, okay? I'm in my 30s. I will beat the living shit out of you sometimes, okay? Don't freaking mess with me, all right? So you better be glad I didn't do that, all right? That's one of the things. So then we had to start selling the iPhone. But the thing about it was that you had to use the AT&T system, and the AT&T system that we're using at the time was bullcrap. But they eventually flipped over to a system that was supposed to be a little bit easier. But guess what? They didn't even teach us how to use that. You know what their teaching method was, guys? Oh, when somebody wants a phone, just go in there and just, figure it out for yourself. Figure it out for myself. This is somebody's account, okay? This is somebody's, bill that they're paying. What if I click on the wrong thing and all of a sudden instead of paying $80 a month, they got paying $200 a month? They're going to come back and yell at me and be all upset and stuff with me. I'm not going into somebody's account and just fooling around. That's what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to go into somebody's account and fool around with it, thinking that nothing was going to happen. So I know about software and stuff. I could hit one button and that I didn't know of and completely mess stuff up. So even the newer guys that are there right now, they don't even know how to sell a phone because they weren't taught how to sell a phone. So that's another thing. They don't properly train people. So for the longest time, I didn't sell a phone, okay? Because I was still the trainer at this point, guys. I told the store manager, and he went, well, you're the trainer. You're mainly going to be at the table teaching stuff. You're not really going to be selling phones, so just hand it off to the salespeople. I was like, okay. So when somebody was interested in the phone, I would go find a salesperson and say that they're interested in the phone and have them sell a phone. Okay? And so this went on for a while. I was a trainer and stuff like that. And then it came to a point where we got a new store manager because the other one left. And for good reason, he left. He wasn't appreciated by upper management stuff, and he got a better job offer someplace else and stuff. But so they brought this other kid in, okay, who was working at one of the other Peach Mac stores. And at this point, we're now actually Simply Mac. They're changing the signs and everything like that. We're not Peach Mac anymore. And they bring this kid in who I have shirts older than to run the store, okay? And from the first minute he gets in the store, he basically rubs me the wrong way. There's other people that kind of like him, but he's just rubbing me the wrong way. Because as soon as he gets in the store, he changes everything to fit his needs. And nobody can find where anything is anymore. We're like, well, we used to go in here and grab this. What happened to it? Oh, well, no. Our new manager flipped things around. Where'd he put it? And then you go to ask him, he would go, well, I don't know. What? You don't know? The hell, you're the one that freaking organized everything and you don't know where the stuff's at? So, it was a constant struggle and frustration with him. And then the big thing happened where, oh, well, we had this meeting, we gotta talk about this stuff now. We're restructuring the company now. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, you're gonna restructure the company. That means that they're gonna do stuff with the districts and the regions and stuff like that. No, they went all the way down to the store level. So for one thing, they went, well, for one, we're not going to be just hourly anymore. We're going to go commission based now, which they told us they would never going to do. So another lie right there, guys. Then they got rid of my position. Yeah, they got rid of the trainer position. They created a new position called a senior sales consultant and gave him the ability to do the training. He had to do the training. But not only did he have to do the training, he was also technically another manager, which had me scratching my head going, how's a manager going to have to handle training? What happens if you're the only manager basically on the floor and somebody comes in that same hour for training? Guess what? If you're at the table doing training, there's no manager to manage things, and if something happens, you're going to have to leave the training and handle stuff like that. It's very inconsistent. And the guy that they have to do it, who's a friend of mine, and I love him dearly, he was given that position because he was supposed to get a management position, but they basically denied it of him, so they gave him that as a kind of like a, sort of like a management position, but he had done some training, but not as much as me. I mean, he would admit it to me. He was like, I don't know nearly as much as you do because you've been training for the past 3 years. So I mainly still ended up doing the training. There are people that would still come in and request me, or they had a subject that the other guy didn't know, so I would end up training him, and they liked that I trained them. They liked the way I teach, and they'd come back and request me. Or maybe he was off that day, and I'm the only one that can train, so I train them, and they end up liking the way that I teach again. And so I ended up most of the time when we had training doing double what the other guy who was supposed to be doing the training did, just because I used to be the trainer. So I had my pay knocked down to minimum wage. Yeah, minimum wage. We all got knocked down to minimum wage. Our store did. What we found out later was some of the other stores, their store managers fought for them and had them get their pay, either not knocked down as much, or they stayed the same. And then other store managers actually, when they found out that the trainers were losing their position, they offered them other positions. They said, do you want to go on the sales floor? Do you want this senior sales consultant position because it's going to involve training? Do you want to move to the service department? I wasn't given any option at all. That kid that was running the store said, you're going to go back on the sales floor. Didn't give me an option whatsoever. He was like, you're going back on the sales floor, you're going to make minimum wage, here's the tiers of how you do commission, which are completely bullcrap anyway. But that was basically it. I was thrown back with no consideration. So now you want me to start selling stuff again when I've been the trainer for 3 years and I didn't have to worry about numbers. I didn't have to worry about selling stuff. Now you want me to start selling stuff again. So you probably know where this is going to go, guys. All right. I didn't do too well with whatever numbers that they wanted. Because in this meeting, he told not only me, but everybody else, it doesn't matter about the percentage of computer versus Apple Care and stuff like that anymore. They just want you to make money because the commission is based off of how much money that you can make gross profit wise. So if you make them X amount of dollars, you get a percentage of that X amount of dollars if you can reach that goal. All right. So I went, okay, well, I don't have to worry about percentages anymore. I'll just sell, sell, sell. And so guess what I did, guys? I sold, sold, sold. There was one day when we started a new fiscal month on a Sunday, I sold 8 computers. Okay. I tried to get Apple Care. I tried to get other things with it, but they didn't want it. So I didn't pressure them because that's the kind of person I am. I've always been the kind of person that if you came in and was looking for an iPad or looking for a computer, I would ask you what you use it for and what your needs are and figure that out and suggest a computer for you. And suggest that you get protection on it. Suggest that you get these other things, okay? I suggest it for you because I'm a sales consultant. You're consulting me about what you should get. So I'm telling you, you should get this computer because of these needs here. I wouldn't get that computer because you're probably not going to use all of its benefits like you're doing right now. I suggest some protection because of this. I suggest that you get a hard drive for backups and things like that. And then it's up to you as a customer to either take what I'm telling you and say, yeah, let's do all that, or go, well, let's do that part and that part, or no. It's up to you. I can't force you to buy stuff. And this is what this company wants you to do. They want you to force people to buy stuff. And they also want you to lie to people too. And that's a big thing I'm going to say about this rant video. It's another reason why I wanted to leave this place. So many times they wanted me to actually break my morals and break my ethics and break rules just to make a sale. And I wouldn't do it. Okay, so back to me selling 8 computers on one day. Okay, when we sell computers, if you're not Apple and you sell Apple computers, you're not making a lot of money. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. If you sell $1,000 notebook, all right, like a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, you're only going to see maybe about 90 to maybe like $105 off of it. You can make a little bit more off of it if it's one of the higher ones, but that's typically about the average out of $1,000. So a lot of third-party Apple stores know this because they don't get that much of a cut for selling the computer, so they do different things. They have their own training system that they can make 100% profit on. They sell a ton of accessories and they get better deals when you buy accessories than they do that. So that's how they make most of the money. So if I sell 8 computers and nobody buys anything else on it, let's say that, I was only making about $90 off of each one of them for gross profit. I still made a pretty good amount of money, and I sold a bunch of stuff too. But guess what happened? That was a Sunday. The next Monday I come in, and the freaking store manager is telling me, why'd you sell 8 computers with no Apple Care on them? I was like, well, none of them wanted any Apple Care. That's one thing. He's like, well, did you offer it? I'm like, of course I offered Apple Care. What the hell are you talking about? Well, did you blah, blah, blah. He was like going crazy about me not doing it because the district manager was yelling at him for the fact that I sold 8 computers in one day with nothing else on them. And I told him, like, you told me that the percentage stuff didn't matter. No, it does matter. What? You told me it didn't matter. I even talked to the other sales consultants and other people, and they said, yeah, he told us the same thing. Percentage didn't matter. It's how much money you made. Nobody else was helping these people. So I was like, well, percentage don't matter anymore. Let me help these people out. Maybe they'll buy Apple Care. Maybe they'll buy a case. Maybe they'll buy something else. But if they don't, hey, at least they bought a computer from us. And at least I found a computer that fit them, and they'll be happy. Because another thing about me is I'm all about helping the customer, and I'm all about customer service. I want you to be happy when you leave the store, okay? I want you to be so happy that you come back in and buy other stuff and maybe do some training with us and, use the service department, stuff like that. Because that's how we were at Peach Mac. But Simply Mac does not give a shit about this, okay? They say they do, but they don't. They don't give a shit about this, guys, all right? They would rather make a whole buttload of money and instead, for one person, have them never come back, really, okay? So, because remember who owns this company. It's GameStop. Do you know why GameStop bought Simply Mac? It's because of the trade-in game. Just like they do with the video games, where you come in and you hand a game that's perfectly fine, and they only want to offer you like $5 for it, and then you go, well, okay, I'll accept the $5, and then they turn around and sell it for $30. They saw the same thing with Apple products. We can do the same thing with computers. Oh my God, just imagine how much money we can make off of that. Somebody trades in an iPad, and we only give them $50 for that iPad, and then we can turn around and sell it for $200. We can get computers and sell them for like $600-$700, and we only gave them like $200-$300 for it, because that's what they do with their stuff. When you go into a Simply Mac and they say they have refurbished computers, they don't. They are called certified pre-owned computers, and they're called certified pre-owned for a reason, because they don't do anything to the computers, guys. All right, they check them for scratches and dents. They'll do a quick scan on it, and then they'll offer you money for it. Unlike Apple, who, if you buy a refurbished computer from Apple, they look at everything and replace any parts they need to. As PeachMech, we did the same thing. So, as an example, all right, let's say that you came in and you had, it's 2016 now, let's say it's you, a couple years ago, you bought a 2013 MacBook Pro, all right, and you're wanting to upgrade. So, you're going to trade in your computer. So, if we were PeachMech, you'd bring it in, and we would tell you, okay, it's going to take us 24 hours to do all the tests to see how much the computer's worth, because we're going to run extensive tests on it, okay? We would check it not only for battery and hard drive and if the ports worked and stuff like that. We would also check the Bluetooth card, the Wi-Fi card, or we would stress test it. We would do everything on it, okay? And then based off of the test, if anything needed to be replaced, we would deduct it from the cost. So let's say that the total cost, if everything worked out right for this computer you're trading in, was going to be about $700, okay? But we found out through this test everything else was good except for the battery. So we have to replace the battery. So we deduct like $130 from that $700, and then whatever you have left, that's what we would offer you. So we would give you a pretty good deal on it. Then, if you accepted it, then we would go and order a battery from Apple, put the new battery in, make sure everything still ran and tested right, and then put it out on the floor to resell it as a refurbished computer because it was refurbished. And we did extensive tests on it. We, at least at our store, we maybe had one refurbished computer come back and all the other refurbished computers we had. And that's only because I think that person just wanted a different model, okay? It was never because it didn't work properly or anything like that. And if it did happen where it didn't work properly, the tech guy that we had with our service department was more than happy to go, I'm very sorry, I will fix this for you with no extra cost and make sure it worked, okay? So, with Simply Mac, don't give a crap, all right? You come in with your 2013 computer, they check it very quickly, takes them about 15 minutes. They go, okay, we'll offer you like $450, $500 for it. And then if you accept it, they don't replace any parts on it. They just make sure the software and everything's wiped off of it, and then they'll turn around and they'll sell it for like $900 or $1,000. There's literally times where I saw computers that were like that from 2013 that were $1,000. I'm like, dude, just pay $300 more and get a brand new one, okay? Didn't make any sense, okay? There were price differences like that, where like, this computer is not worth $1,000. You paid, $500 for it, and you're going to go up that much on it? When we were PeachMech, if we were going to sell it, we went, well, we paid, $600 and some odd dollars for this computer. We'll sell it for like $650, $700. We would make a profit off of it, but we knew that it's a 2013 computer in its use, and we want to get rid of it, so we're going to put it at a good price so we can still make a profit, but still get rid of it, because we don't want it to hang around forever. And it's like that with Simply Mac, guys, just like it is with the way they do it at GameStop with freaking video games, with trading and stuff. So I urge you to never buy a certified pre-owned computer from Simply Mac, all right? Because I have seen these things come back with battery issues, with screen issues, with port issues, and people wanting either you to fix it or their money back. And technically, you're not supposed to give them their money back, okay? Another one, kind of like the GameStop return policy stuff. Oh no, all sales are final. Once you buy this, it's yours. We don't have any responsibility for that. But once the kid left as the store manager, and we had another store manager come in, she actually had a conscience and a soul, and very, very sweet, and supported me throughout the whole rest of the time I was there. And she would go, what? And she would actually make exceptions and give people their money back or do certain things like this. There's also warranties you can get on these certified pre-owns, guys, and that makes them a lot more extra money in their pocket, and they want you to sell these. But I'm going to tell you that a few times I've seen it where Simply Mac doesn't even honor this warranty. We had this lady come in one time, and it was during tax-free that we had here in Georgia. So she buys this certified pre-owned computer. She buys 1 year of a warranty, so that way if anything happens, she's protected. She comes in a couple months later with a real issue with the computer. There's some dead pixels on the screen, and you can tell that's not caused by damage or drops or anything like that. So I'll look it up and I go, yeah, you still have this 1 year warranty. I see it right here. I'll print the receipt out so you can show the service department. Let me check you in. She goes back there, and then she comes back later and says that the service department won't fix it because the repair is going to cost more than what the computer is worth. And I said, it doesn't matter, you have the warranty. And they told us the warranty covers it the same like it would an AppleCare protection warranty, which with Apple's warranty, it doesn't matter how much it's going to cost to get it fixed. If it's non-accidental, Apple's going to fix it because they're all about customer service and having everybody happy. Okay, so, and I've seen it where times where it was like, oh, this repair would have cost you $1,300, but it wasn't your fault, so Apple just covered it because you already paid that. So she was just blatantly told they're not going to fix it. So my store manager at the time apologized, took the warranty and the computer back, and sold her a brand new computer underneath the limited 1 year warranty that Apple has, because we know that we have to fix that if something happens to it. And she never came back. I don't blame her. We also had another incident with one of these where it wasn't even the extra warranty. They all get 90 days on it, and this person was covered underneath the 90 days, and there was something wrong with the battery. And they wouldn't fix the battery, and it was under 90 days. And so my manager had to do another return on it, even though she wasn't supposed to. So you see the pattern that we're coming here, guys. Alright? Because they don't check these things. When somebody really did want it, I would sell it to them. It's like, if you really want to get a certified pre-owned computer, I will sell it to you. I think you should really get this brand new computer here with AppleCare, but if you really want the certified pre-owned one, I will sell it to you. So at one point, I wasn't even selling the warranty because it even wasn't worth it. But then I started selling the warranty a little bit more because I was like, if anything does happen to this computer, you've kind of entered in this agreement with Simply Mac, and if they won't honor it, then you have a legal right to sue them. So it's kind of like an insurance policy, almost in a way. I would think that you had a right to sue them because you entered this agreement with them, but who knows? We got GameStop lawyers and stuff. They probably find some kind of loophole or something to get past all that crap. So along with all this stuff and all the stuff I'm supposed to sell certified pre-owns. I'm supposed to sell the phone. I'm supposed to sell AppleCare. I'm supposed to sell their other accidental warranty. I'm supposed to sell training and stuff like that. They weren't even really concerned about the training at this point anymore. I mean, I was like one of the only people still trying to sell training to people because I like training and I wanted people to come in for training. They were more concerned over you selling the crappy certified pre-owned computers or selling the AppleCare and then their other warranty along with that, or selling a phone. Especially with a phone, they freaked out if you don't sell a phone because AT&T gives them a lot of money when you sell an iPhone at Simply Mac, and they want that AT&T money. And if you don't sell enough phones, then AT&T is going to take the phone away from you. And I was like, I don't care. I want AT&T to take the phone away from us. I'd rather have it if Apple gave us permission to sell the phone outright, because that's what would happen in our store, guys. In this area right here, a lot of people don't like AT&T because, one, the coverage is spotty. Two, we used to have Bell South around here, and then AT&T bought it out and took it over and have poor customer service, so people wanted to leave and not deal with it anymore. And then we also still have, even though we're not Atlanta, but still, we've got it where there's people who are international, and they're like, I don't want to, I need just a phone. I don't need a service or anything. I'm going overseas. Or maybe they are AT&T, but they don't want to change their plan. They just want the phone so that way you can just flip the SIM card out and be done with it, which you can do at an Apple store because Apple sells them without any contract if you want to. But we couldn't do that because we had the AT&T contract. And let me tell you, if we were able to sell the phone outright, we would have been one of the leaders in selling the iPhone in the whole entire company, because just about every single person that came in wanted to buy the phone outright Or another scenario is they wanted to put it on Verizon, because in this area, Verizon is the king. And we would tell corporate this every time. And they would go, okay, and then just wouldn't listen and then wonder why we couldn't sell the phone. Bitch, we told you why we can't sell the phone, alright? Have it where we can either sell it unlocked or give us an option with also selling not only with AT&T but with Verizon, and they wouldn't do it, okay? So we had trouble doing that, okay? So they're looking at these numbers in a spreadsheet and stuff. So all of a sudden, last year, around like September, for some weird reason, the district manager starts paying a little bit more attention to what I'm doing and what I'm selling, and telling my store manager that I need to change my ways. She sits down with me one time and tells me this stuff, and I tell her blatantly, I'm like, I'm not selling the iPhone, not because I just don't want to sell the iPhone. It's because I don't know the system and nobody taught it to me, and I don't want to go into somebody's account and mess it up. If you teach me properly how to go into the system, I will sell the phone. I don't have a problem with that. She was talking to me about not selling certified pre-owned, and I said, because you don't honor warranties, I don't want to sell a phone and have somebody come back upset. So if you fix that, then I will sell it. She was talking to me about my percentage when it comes to Apple Care and Care, all the other stuff. They call this thing Care Square for accidental protection. My numbers, my percentages, and I told her, they told us that percentages didn't matter. That was all about how much money that you make, gross profit. Tell me which one it is. They really want both, but I'm sorry, you're not getting both. You're not having your cake and eating it too. You're getting one or the other. Do you want good percentages or do you want a lot of money? Okay, so you're either one or the other. I told her, I'm like, if the percentages matter that much to them, I will go back to the old way I used to do things, so that way I could try to get percentage at a good point. But the whole point of me doing that means that I don't sell the stuff in large volumes. I pick the people I kind of sell to, and I'm not saying that I'm like excluding people out. It's just that sometimes you got to pick your moments when people are coming into the store. So I'm the trainer, I'm good at troubleshooting. Most of the time, all these new people don't really know anything. So most of the time, if I see somebody walking in with an iPad, I usually want to step up. And of course, they're like, I can't get my email working, or this won't work. And so I go, okay. And I stand up and I take responsibility for that. And while I'm doing that, somebody else walks in and wants to buy a computer. So I had it working out where I would try to sell computers to people, but if they didn't want it, then they don't want it. And when I did sell it to them, I told them all about Apple Care and how awesome it is and how I have Apple Care and all my stuff. And I would tell them about training, and I would tell them about their other accidental warranty and stuff like that. And I would always tell people about this stuff, and I would give them options. But like I said in the beginning of this rant, guys, it's up to the actual customer if they actually want it. They're spending their hard-earned money. It's up to them. All I can do is suggest it to them, and then they have the rest of it from there. And you may say, well, no, you need to sell it to them. Oh, I've sold it to them. Like, you need this because of this, this, and this. But ultimately, it is up to your decision. I mean, if you go into a Best Buy and you buy, a piece of electronics, when you get up to the register, they go, okay, do you also want the thing on here, the warranty on here as well? And you'll sit there and go, do I really want it or not? No, I don't want it. And then they go, okay, and then that's it. You just made your decision, okay? So, in some senses like that. But, yeah, so they're looking at these numbers and stuff, and I'm like, well, I'll try to adjust them. I'll try to fix them. I'll try to do better. But I still wasn't getting taught how to do the system to sell the phone. It got to a point where it was Christmas time, so it was a whole lot harder for you to attach things like warranties and stuff to computers when people are buying it for other people for holidays. That's about one of the worst times to try to sell warranties and stuff on things, because it's like, oh, I'm buying it for somebody else. I don't know if they need that or want that or not. I'm like, why don't you just be a good person and, put some protection on the computer? I did that for my mom when I bought her an iPad. I bought her the iPad. I bought her the Apple protection for it, so that way she wouldn't have to worry about anything later on. I took care of all the stuff, okay? Why don't you be a good dad, mom, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, and just spend a little bit extra money and get some protection on it. I don't even care if you buy a Simply Mac warranty. At least get the Apple protection on it, okay? At least get that. But the whole entire time, numbers aren't working out very well, guys. And I'm trying my best. And another thing, too, which they're not even looking at, because they have the spreadsheet, and they're looking at all these numbers. They're like, he's not selling this many computers, and he's not making this much money, and he's not doing this with percentage. But what they're not looking at is they're not really looking at how many trainings I'm doing a month. Because as I'm selling, I'm still doing the trainings. And I'm doing not as much as I used to when it was just me as a trainer. Because let me tell you guys, when it was Peach Mac, our training package was a lot better. And I would do an average of like 85 trainings in a month. And at Simply Mac, the average was like anywhere from like 10 to 15. Okay, it went way down because their package is awful. They charge you more money for less classes, and it's ridiculous. When they could fix that and rearrange around like the way we did it and have more people come in and still make good money. But I was still doing the training. So if we had 18 trainings in a month, guess what? I did about 11 or 12 of those 18. So that's 18 hours that I'm not on the floor because the training is an hour. So that's 18 hours in that month that I wasn't on the floor selling stuff. So I don't have all the opportunity to do it. So they would complain about me not selling stuff, but how can I sell stuff if, one, I'm not on the floor because I'm doing that, or two, how can I sell stuff when nobody comes into the store? Because there's periods, especially now, because it being after Christmas and stuff, it's a slow period. And they go, why aren't you guys selling stuff? Well, there's nobody in the store. If there's nobody in the store, how the hell am I going to sell stuff to people? And another thing about our store is a big service store. We're like we're basically the only certified Apple service place in the middle part of Georgia. Okay? So people come from everywhere to get their stuff serviced through us. Okay? So we're a big service store. That's a big source of revenue. So more than 50% of the people that walk through the door have a service issue. So the service department is always busy. And then it leaves us up front. Like, we're not selling nothing. We're just kind of waiting for people to come into the door. The whole back part of the store is full of people in the service line, and then we're up front with nobody. So, I mean, you can't help that. If somebody walks in and they go, what they really want you to do is somebody walks in, they see that there's something messed up with the iPad, and they want you to go, oh, let's talk about you buying a new iPad. They don't want to buy a new iPad, guys. They want the current iPad that they like and they've had it with and they love. They want it to work again. Because the thing about Apple products is that you grow very attached to these things. I still have an iPad 2, and I am very attached to that thing. Okay? I would love to have a newer iPad that could do more things, but I don't have the money to do it, especially now. But that iPad over there that I've got, the iPad 2, I've had since it came out in 2011. I've grown very, very attached to that. I'm very attached to my iMac, to my computer. I'm very attached to my iPod. I'm attached to all of my Apple products. I have Apple products that I've had for years that don't work anymore, and I still have them. Why haven't you thrown them away, J-Mac? Because they're a part of me. They're like family members. And I know it's weird to say, but that's how it is. And so when somebody comes in, they just want, please fix this iPad if you can. Most of the time they don't want a replacement. But that's what Simply Mac wants you to do. Oh, the iPad isn't turning on? Let's go look at new iPads so that we can have a newer iPad. Well, no. All you have to do is do a reset on it and the iPad works. That's all you have to do. And then they're happy. And guess what? They'll come back in if they want to buy a case, or if they want to buy a stylus, or if they want to get a new iPad, or if they're considering getting a computer or something like that. You make one person happy by doing something like that with good customer service, and they're going to come back in over and over again. And that's the whole mentality I had while I was with Simply Mac. I was still using that Peach Mac mentality, where it was suggesting things to people and good customer service and things like that. But even though Simply Mac says, oh, no, we want those same things too. No, they just want money. It's a part of GameStop. They just want money. Okay? And you know, another thing that pissed me off about Simply Mac was the fact that you get Thanksgiving and Christmas off, but you don't get it with any pay. And so I know there's some places out there where they'll give you the day off for a holiday, but they won't pay you. But guess what? Simply Mac has enough money to do that. Okay? They're owned by GameStop. And another thing, guess what? Peach Mac did that, and we only had 11 or 12 stores. We were very, very small, but our president, the guy that ran the company, he's like, hey, you guys work hard, so your base pay isn't going to be minimum wage. It's going to be like $9.50, and we'll move it up from there depending on where you live. And plus, you're gonna have Christmas off, Thanksgiving off, and Easter off with pay, okay? And if it's a holiday, you'll get paid time and a half. Simply Mac is cheap, and they don't want to do that crap, okay? They're like, what are you talking about giving you pay? You have the day off. Screw you, all right? Screw you, all right? I should get it with pay, all right? So everybody should have at least Thanksgiving and Christmas off with pay. I don't care where you work, you should get it, all right? So now I've gone through that stuff. Let me get a little more water here real quick, guys. With all the little lies that they told us, we want to adopt your stuff, blah, 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 not doing it. We're going to adopt your training package. They didn't do that. We're never going to go to commission. They went to commission. Just lie after lie after lie after lie. They have, like I've told people, they have insulted me. I've had the guy insult me and said I had no ambition. They have constantly lied to us about stuff they were going to do. And frankly, they've stolen from me, okay? They've stolen, all the hard work that I did to become a trainer. They stole my position. They stole the pay that was due. They have done that when I've actually earned commission check, and they go, well, no, you didn't actually make that much. You actually made this much because our calculations are blah, blah, blah. They use some kind of stupid Reagan math for all their bull crap, which I don't freaking get. Nobody can figure out how to calculate by themselves how much, if they reach their goal or not, because it's always different. It's always switching. It's always changing. Because Simply Mac doesn't stick by one thing, all right? You would think that they would have a clear set of rules and you just follow a clear set of rules, but no, those clear set of rules change every time. Because at one minute they're like, well, we need to sell AppleCare, so make them some offers and stuff like we're a used car lot. That's not what they want you to be. They want to get some used car salesmen to sell Apple computers, basically. Give them some, give them a little bit of a discount. I mean, we only make about this much money off of AppleCare. Take $10, $15 off if it'll help you with the sale. And then you do that a couple of times, and you do it again. And they go, why are you taking money off of the AppleCare? I'm like, because you told me to. No, you don't need to do that. You told me I could. Well, no, don't do that. Okay, well then you don't do it, and then they go, well, I'll make them offer. And they keep flip-flopping back and forth. They can't make up their mind about what they want to do, okay? Because they bought all these other companies, and they had no plan to how to implement it. They have no infrastructure to support it. They had to basically scramble around once they bought all these companies and be like, oh crap, we lost all this money, we bought all these companies. Well, maybe you shouldn't have bought all these companies, all right? Maybe you should have just took it easy and not be so freaking greedy, okay? Because that's what you are, Simply Mac. You're greedy as hell. And you don't treat your employees with any type of respect, okay? So, especially where I'm at, all right? So, here we go. Like I told you guys, the district manager was starting to pay weird attention to me, okay? And telling my store manager about my numbers not being good and not me selling this and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And this goes on and on and on and on and on. And all the time, I'm just trying to find another job, guys. I don't want to stay here. I don't want to work for these people. I'm getting hassled about how I'm doing things and stuff like that. But I'm following freaking rules and regulations still. I mean, there's one guy that still works there to this day. And the only reason why he's still there is because he sells them a crap load of stuff because he's constantly lying to people so that way they'll buy it. So, and I'm not going to do that. But he also, when there's nobody in the, even when there's people in the store, he's like leaning over the counter on his phone and stuff like that, which you're not supposed to do. Where I'm not behind the counter, I'm not on my phone or my iPod. I'm actually doing something. I'm actually straightening up the store. I'm dusting. I'm cleaning. I'm mopping. I'm fixing the visuals of the store. I'm trying to stay busy so that way the clock will go by faster. But I'm the bad employee, and he's the good one. All right, because he's making you money. You don't care about anything else he's doing. You'll bitch and moan about him doing it and be on his phone and stuff. But as long as he's making you a buttload of money, you don't give a shit. All right. But me, I'm not really making that much money. But I'm telling people the truth. I'm being honest with them because that's what you want to have in somebody trying to sell you something. You don't want some con artists trying to sell you stuff. And when I'm not selling stuff, I'm trying to keep busy and keep the store up and nice and looking good and stuff. And my store manager saw this, and my assistant manager and everybody else at the store, everybody at my store loved me, okay, and knew how much hard work I put in and how helpful I was and stuff. But all the district manager saw was this freaking spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet didn't match what he wanted to see. And so I'm a bad employee. Okay? So, and I've had a couple of my friends leave because of stuff like this, because they're getting paid minimum wage and they can't afford to pay bills and stuff. And I've had two guys that actually came with me that used to work with me at Target. We both came over there. They're got different jobs now. One actually works for Apple now, which is a job that I kind of want to have too, but I haven't heard anything from Apple. So please, Apple, please call me. I love to do in-home Apple care. Please, if you can hear this. But excuse me, guys. But yeah, it goes on for months and months and months, and all of a sudden, I start getting words. My store manager starts telling me stuff like, he wants me to fire you. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, because your numbers and stuff. He wants me to fire you. He already made her fire one other guy when it was once Christmas was done. But she had a little plan for that. He'd put in his 2 weeks and got the last 2 weeks, and then he just left without being fired. So, but this whole time, month after month, all of a sudden, like every once in a while, every time he would say stuff, like he would tell her, "You need to get rid of him. You need to get rid of him. You need to fire him. He's not a good employee. He's not making gold. He's not doing this. Blah blah blah." Well, that's my problem if I'm not making gold, dude. Okay, if I'm all right with just making a minimum wage right now, and I'm not making gold, and I'm not making enough money, that's my problem. That's not your problem. Okay, I've never been rude to a customer. I've always given good customer service. I followed all the other rules. My store manager has no problem with me. None of the other people in the store have a problem with me. I've never done anything like that, but you have an issue with me, okay? Because my numbers are bad. And he also said that my attitude was bad. Well, hell yes, my attitude is bad. What the hell? I was a trainer and I was making good money, and you took that all away from me and threw me back on the sales floor, and now you say I'm a bad employee because I can't sell stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. The trainer can't sell stuff. I was a trainer for 3 years. What do you expect from me to throw me back on the sales floor? I was going to turn back around to being a salesman again? It doesn't, it's not a switch that you turn on and off, guys, okay? It takes a while to do that kind of stuff. But doesn't want to listen to stuff. And another thing is that this district manager is a freaking coward, because a good district manager, if he had an issue with one of the employees that was in his district and in one of his stores, would have talked one-on-one personally with this person and been like, hey, what's going on? I see this happening, I see this, and I see this. Why are these things happening? How can we make it better and stuff? Because he would want his district to be better. That's what a good district manager does. But no, what he would do is he would smile in your face and then piss on your back. He would think that you are right and say good things to you, but then go to the store manager and say, you need to write him up, fire him, fire them, and not say a word. And then leave when he came to visit and go, y'all have a good day. And then all of a sudden you find out that he was back there just telling our store manager to get rid of most of us and write us up because we're all awful people, okay? Last time I looked at my survey results, I wasn't an awful employee, okay? I had people who would write in with comments saying that they loved me and I was helpful and I was smiling and stuff, because I'm always that way with customers, okay? You don't want to come into some place that's, it's awful to you. I mean, because you're not going to go back there again. If you have a bad experience at a place, you go, well, we're not going to go over there anymore. I don't like going over there. But I'll go over there to that one because those people are nice. So, because that would happen with people going to the carriers. They have a problem with their phone. It's like, I don't want to go to Verizon. I don't want to go to AT&T. I'd rather come to you guys because you guys are nicer and you guys know what you're talking about. So, but nope, don't see that. He doesn't see that at all. He doesn't give a shit about that. The spreadsheet that I'm looking at tells me what a person is. Not going to talk to me like a man face to face and say, we're having issues, and I tell him what my issues are, and he goes back to me and we talk actually, face to face and try to hash things out. Nope. It's like, nope, he does not meet in this, just get rid of him. I've been there for 5 years. Go ahead and get rid of him. So this is on and on. It's to a point where it was like the beginning of February, and he told her that by the end of the month, he wanted her to fire me. So she said, we got to have your numbers up and good to show him. We've got to have you sell a phone and stuff like that, something. So I'm like, okay. End up selling the iPhone with her help. And I didn't sell hardly any computers the past month in February because everybody I talked to either wanted an iPad or an Apple Watch. And the two computers I did sell that month were certified pre-owned computers, so I made him a bunch of money, but I didn't sell a brand new one. But didn't matter to him. All of a sudden, I was off Friday, guys. Remember, I put up the channel update video on Friday. And just to let you know what was going on, about an hour or two after I posted that video up on YouTube, I got a text from my manager. She said that she needed to talk to me whenever I had the chance. So I had the chance then. I called her, and she told me that basically he said that when I came in for my shift on Saturday to fire me. And I told her, she's like, what do you want to do? And I told her, well, I'll do what the other guy did. I'll give you my 2-week notice. I'll have the rest 2 weeks, and I'll just leave. And she went, okay, if that's what you want to do. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I went in yesterday and I worked, and I worked with like most of the new people. I was like the only person that really knew what was going on. So by the end of my store manager shift, she was about to go home. I haven't handed her the 2-week notice yet, so she wanted to talk to me. So I was like, okay, she wants me to hand her the 2-week notice so that way everything can be taken care of. And so we go into her office, and she says, well, he sent me an email and asked me if I had fired you yet. And I said, no, he put it in his 2 weeks. And then he said, it doesn't matter, fire him anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter, fire him anyway. So didn't give her a choice, or me a choice at all, to actually leave or something like that. So unfortunately, guys, yesterday I got laid off, fired, whatever you want to call it, from this job I've had for 5 years with no fault of my own. Okay, so it wasn't because I was, bad to customers or I was breaking rules or something like that. It's just a simple fact that, one, he didn't like me, and two, I'm not meeting certain numbers that he wants, so he thinks I'm a poor employee even though I'm doing everything else in the store. So, and as she's telling me this, she's like breaking down crying because like I said, this store, she's been fighting for me ever since she got there. She's been in my corner and saying that you're wrong. He is not a poor employee. He does just about all the training. He helps us all out when there's stuff to go. And he could actually be a manager if he really wanted to. He knows enough stuff in here. He's an excellent employee. I wish I had more people like him in the store. But he's like, no, you got to fire him. He's not a good employee because he's not meeting these numbers that we want to have happen. Even though he's good at customer service and he's good at troubleshooting and stuff like that, and he's doing the training and people love him and stuff, get rid of him. Okay? Because he's not making us enough money, basically. That's what it boils down to. I'm not making this company enough money, basically. But I'm giving you better, kind of PR stuff, basically, because when people come in and I help them out in like 5 seconds, they're going to be happy and they're going to want to come back in again. They're going to like you. But I'm a bad employee. Sure, whatever, dude. I mean, you're a bad district manager. How about I say that? You're a coward and you're a piece of crap and you're a bad district manager. So screw you, all right? So she's crying while she's telling me this because, like I said, she has a good soul. She's a good person. She didn't want to do it. And then she tells me she's got to get rid of 2 other people in the store soon, too. And I'm like, there's going to be nobody left. He basically that district manager wants her to almost get rid of everybody in that store and rehire new people. But guess what? When something like that happens, you're going to have people that don't know what they're talking about. So when somebody comes in and asks you, can you do this with an iPad? Can you do this with an Apple computer? Can I do this? There's an adapter for this. They're not going to know any of that stuff because there's not going to be one person there that knows to teach them how to do it. Because that's what I was trying to do with some of the newer people before I left. Teach them about some of this stuff. Nobody's going to know anything about any of this stuff anymore. Okay? So when you go into that store, you're going to come across people that are lost. It's going to be like walking into a Best Buy where they don't know what they're talking about half the time. All right? They're supposed to be specialists, and they're not specialized in doing any damn thing. So that's what happened yesterday, guys. I got laid off, and I feel a lot of emotions because of that. I have a little bit of relief because I don't have to deal with this cancer that's been a part of my life for so long since they took over. Which, like I told my store manager, I told her the same thing. It's been affecting my health. It's been causing stress and causing, I don't know, possibly maybe me having ulcers or something like that. I have pain sometimes, and it's causing her stress too because she's having chest pains because of all the stress that they're laying on her. She can't deal with this stuff anymore. So I feel that. I also feel sad because I've been with this place and going to this place for 5 years, and I'm also angry because I didn't do anything wrong. I was a good employee. Okay, I did nothing wrong and I got laid off for it. Okay, and there's, like I said, there's another guy there that doesn't freaking follow stuff and is a jerk basically and a liar. But because he makes some money, he gets to stay. So I'm feeling all of this stuff. It's the first time that I've ever been laid off or fired from a job. All the other jobs I've had, I just have left myself because of some reason or not. So, and I'm also scared, guys. I mean, I have to pay bills. I'm taking care of my mom. When I got the job back in 2011 with Peach Mac, a month later my mom lost her job. And so I've been taking care of her since then. So I've been paying the mortgage on the house. I've been paying just about all the bills. I've been paying my bills, all this stuff. And now I don't have any income for this. So I'm scared of us losing the house, of us not being able to pay the electric bill, the water bill, to buy food to eat, things like that. So I'm hoping that I can, get some unemployment or something like that, or either, which would be a miracle, would be if on Monday, sometime like Monday morning or something like that, one of these places where I have filled out applications for, and let me tell you guys, I have flooded the place with applications. Hopefully one of them will call me and set up an interview and I won't have to be unemployed for that long. So that'd be awesome if that could happen. But I also got my taxes back from federal, and they're basically almost as much as what I make in a month, so I have that too. So, but I don't want to burn through all that stuff. But I'm feeling a lot of different emotions right now, as you can imagine. Being scared and hurt and angry, pissed off, wanting to burn the place down. But I don't have any anger toward the store itself, really, because like I said, my store manager and all the other people, they loved me and they liked me, and when I told some of them when I left that I got fired, they had questionable looks on their face of, why? You know more than most of the people in the store and you've been here for so long and you're a good employee, why would they fire you? I'm like, because the district manager is a dumbass, basically. Alright, so yeah, so guys, don't go shop at Simply Mac. Alright, don't go to a Simply Mac. They will sell you crap computers. They will sell you warranties that they won't offer. They will have hidden return policies that they don't want to freaking honor, and they'll have service departments where service people will screw stuff up sometimes because sometimes they're not properly trained. And don't ever go work for a Simply Mac, okay? Because they will not treat you with any kind of respect or any kind of dignity or anything like that. If you do end up having to get a job with Simply Mac, do it during the holiday season. Get hired, before Black Friday. Get trained. Well, they call it training, but it ain't really training. Be there until the end of December and get the hell out. Make some money. Try to make, a commission check that's pretty big for you, so that way you can buy a Christmas present, stuff like that, and then get the hell out. Okay? Because let me tell you, the turnover for this company is freaking off the charts. There's so many people just leaving because of the way they're treating people that they can't keep people in their stores. I mean, in our district, it's hard for them to even keep an assistant manager. They get assistant managers and they don't stay that long and they leave. And all of a sudden, these emails go out and go, well, we've got openings for assistant managers in all these stores, and we got service managers from these stores, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the? And then you find out why, okay? So, but yeah, guys, that's the awful job that I had. That's the evil company of GameStop. So, if you didn't think that I hated GameStop enough before, I really hate them now. I can't stand GameStop. I can't stand Simply Mac. And poor ThinkGeek got bought by GameStop too, so I'm sorry, ThinkGeek, but I'm not buying any stuff from you ever again. As soon as I found out you got bought by GameStop, I didn't go to your website. I even canceled your emails and stuff. I'm Irish, guys. I can get kind of bitter very fast. If something touches the cancer that is GameStop, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to support it at all. So, but there you go, guys. There's the rant video. Maybe I'll do another one, but that's the main rant video. That's the company that I used to work for. That's the one that was giving me so much grief and so much headache and so much pain. But hopefully I can get a job with Apple. Will be, the the real one I would want to be, like either the one of the Apple retail stores, or even just doing in-home Apple Care, because there's been times where people that came into the store and I helped them in 5 seconds when Apple Care tried to take 2 days and still couldn't fix the problem. So hopefully I can get something like that, or any company at this point. I mean, like I said in the other video, the channel update video, I'll be a cashier, I'll clean toilets, I'll sweep floors, I'll wash dishes. I don't care at this point. I just need some kind of steady income right now. I need to be employed. So that's going to be my job at this point, is to find another job. So I know today I'm going to send out some emails to some people I used to train and let them know I'm not there anymore, and let them know that if they need training, they can come to me and pay me directly, because I plan on stealing all the training from this store, so that way I don't get anybody ever again. And also I'll be filling a lot of other applications too, to where whoever has an opening, basically. So hopefully one of these places will contact me or call me and start setting up interviews and stuff like that. Because let me tell you guys, one of the most frustrating things is I have 10 plus years experience in retail. I have experience running cash registers. I have experience doing stocking. I have a degree in IT. I have open availability. And when people look at that, when you tell them about that, they go, "You have open availability, you have all this experience and stuff. I can't believe somebody hasn't hired you yet." But I have all this stuff in, and hardly anybody has called me. I mean, I had a interview with the local college I actually got my degree from, but I didn't get that job. I had a couple of other interviews that I didn't get because I applied for a position that wasn't open. So, which is weird, because I would go to job post boards and it would look like that position is open, and I would apply for it, and then they go, "Well, that position actually isn't open." So I can't trust the job posting boards anymore. I have to actually go to the actual company's website and look at their career listings and actually see if it's there or not now. So, because that's happened way too many times. So, but yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys are having a better 2016 than I am, but hopefully this is just the beginning of something better. That we're going to break out of this cocoon and become an awesome looking butterfly. Hopefully the rest of the year turns out better. Maybe, like I said, this is the cancer that got cut out that I didn't need in my life anymore, and maybe something else will come around and turn the whole thing around and make the year a whole lot better. But I hope you guys are having a good year. Thanks for watching the video. Tell your friends not to shop at Simply Mac. Tell them not to work at Simply Mac. Tell them not to go into GameStop in general. Don't mess with any of that kind of crap. And I'll see you guys back here on the channel for another video. Remember, guys, keep gaming and stay strong.